I needed to pre-state all that because you're going to stop being friends with me after this.
Okay.
So Rachel, or sometimes producer of the show, out the window here at the Audio Boom offices.
You should let her inside at some point. But
yes. She sometimes she'll pop in and work the ones and zeros. She and her friend, big fans of your work.
Okay.
Big fans of Sweeney Todd. And they wrote a series of questions.
You're cold reading these, as far as I know, right?
I'm cold reading these. So if I can put on my James Lipton hat for a second.
Please.
Is Mr. Todd here with us today? Can we speak to Mr. Todd?
I suppose you could.
Well, not fucking around. Okay. Question number 1. Dear Mr. Todd, what barber school did you go to?
Well, I guess I would say the School of Hard Knocks.
Sure.
It's a little off Fleet Street.
Right. They have a good theater program too, right?
Yes, and
hotel administration.
I started with shampoo, of course.
That's like 101.
Yeah. Working your way up.
Now, this one feels less like an interview question, more like a trivia question. To what foodstuff do you enjoy comparing hair colors? And don't worry, there are 4 options. A, corn. B, sunflower. C, hay. D, wheat. It's supposed to be D, but instead they put a second B in.
I'll take 2B.
Okay.
Or not.
Oh. Ooh. Mr. Todd.
Ben's very into this.
Mr. Todd, what rhymes with locksmith?
Oh, I've been stumped by this for years. Next.
Where did you plan to retire after Vengeance, since you hate London so much?
Sure. Big Black Pit.
Your post-Vengeance plans.
Blackpool.
Oh, lovely. By the sea.
Yeah.
Right. Lovely this time of year.
And that's, it's an expansion. You want to go from a pit to a pool, even if both are black.
Yeah.
Sorry if this is too personal. Did you and Miss Lovett have intercourse?
Wow. That's a question?
I did not write these questions.
I don't think,
Rachel.
Well, I'll let Sweeney speak.
Could you be more specific? Which Mrs. Lovett?
Wow.
I think that answer speaks for itself.
A barber never tells.
Okay.
Sure.
You
Famous expression.
A lot of time teaching Anthony the different shades of blonde hair. Back to the blonde hair. But when Anthony gets to the asylum, he just points to Joanna and says, "That one." Do you regret the time you spent teaching Anthony all of that? Do you think of that as sort of sunken cost?
He's a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Sure.
It feels like these questions are very pointed to try to get specific answers.
Oh, you're kidding me.
It does, and I've managed to do none of them.
When you return to London after 15 years, no one recognizes you except Senor Pirelli / Danny O'Higgins. What did you do that he remembers you? Or is face blindness limited to the English? After all, you did not recognize your own wife that you spent 15 years pining on. This feels kind of cinema, Cincy.
I never really looked at her that much when we were together. I had changed my hair, but that really, I guess that the Irish really are more perceptive race.
And you know what? That is sort of the principle. Your entire life is based around that a hair can really change a man.
Yes, true.
A modification of a cut. Are you sorry that you didn't get to kill Anthony?
Well, I suppose this is the son I never killed, so in that way, it's probably a good thing.
Here's one, and I don't know. Someone else might enter the studio to also answer this question. Who would win in a fight between John Wilkes Booth and you?
Oh my God. John Wilkes Booth has a gun.
Yes. I'm forgetting my accents now.
Wilkesy.
Sic semper tyrannis.
Right. That's a big line.
Well, yeah, it is.
It's kind of the "at last my arm is complete again" of assassins. Mm-hmm. I can tell you an interesting anecdote about that. I always knew it from the recording as "at last my arm is complete again," which is what Len Cariou sang. So when I went to do it the first time when Sondheim was there for a run through, I did, "at last my arm is complete again." And he said, did they change the script? And I was like, no, that's what it says. And he says, no, it should be right arm. I'm like, really?
My right arm is complete.
At last, my right arm is complete again. You know, meaning like metaphorical and literal. But Len Cariou was left-handed, so it was cut for Len.
Tricky Len.
And another, an Assassins-related one. I love doing research for characters, and especially when you have a real person, you can, you know. So I did
one of the great actors of all time, John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what he's mostly remembered for.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Up to that point.
Right.
And there's a collection of his letters and stuff. So it was really interesting research. And I realized that in the Balladier's song, he says, 27 years of age. Why did you do it, Johnny? And when I was reading, I realized, actually, he was killed. He would have been 27 that year, but he was killed short of his birthday. So he was actually 26. Right. So, you know, thinking I was doing him a big favor, I go up to Steve and say, Steve,
oh boy,
I'm doing a little research. And
you're going to thank me for this one.
26 years. He was actually 26. And there was a pause. And he said, 27 sounds better.
Right.
I'm like,
it's got 2 syllables.
You're Stephen Sondheim, and
also,
you're absolutely right.
What a tragedy that John Wilkes Booth
didn't get to join the like Jimi Hendrix Club.
Yeah, exactly.
He could be up there jamming in heaven with Hendrix and Joplin and Cobain.
Maybe that's what Steve wanted to do. Like, just
he was really almost there too. Looking at him, he was like 2 weeks off of his birthday.
Yeah.
So Stevie Sondheim's doing some fuzzy math. I mean, you can give him
fair
that.
enough.
I'm going to apologize in advance for this question, which I want to remind everyone was written by Rachel, who usually acts like we are poorly behaved when she appears on this show. I just want to remind everyone that she acts
what's the question?
like we are immature.
We gotta wrap this up.
There are 2 questions left. They're both quick. I think you will not want to answer either one.
Okay.
Did you ever eat Mrs. Lovett's pies? Also, did you ever eat Mrs. Lovett's quote-unquote pie?
Get out of here, Rachel. You should have screened this.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
I will say that in our production, they were all pantomimed. So
the cunnilingus was.
yes.
There was not even a prop pie for you to eat.
Sure.
Exactly.
Right.
Final question, and another very leading question.
Yeah.
What did you do with the bones? Carve a nice spoon set?
I started a band and played drums.
Yeah.
Oh, I love a bone drum.
Right?
Yeah, love a bone
you?
drum.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of bones.
Well, let's just drop it. Let's wrap it up right there.
Really, no follow up to that.